This is Rocket Lab in less than 5 minutes. When most people think about rockets, they think of Rocket Man. Yes, Elon Musk, and the juggernaut that is SpaceX. And they're right to, landing more rockets than everyone else is launching, but also compelling investors of every flavor to literally dump billions into the space economy. But just like rockets and propellant, most of that money burned right up. Though there's one company, in fact, I would argue the second most important in all of private space, that has found success. Major success. 70 launches and counting, massive NASA and DoD contracts, investor sentiment putting a $25 billion valuation on their name, and quickly working towards their next generation rocket. This is Rocket Lab. And if you like short videos covering the most important companies in hardware, space, and defense, make sure to sub to the channel. Counting just over 5 million people, New Zealand is home to some of the most beautiful landscapes, a rich tribal history that manifests in one of the most feared sports teams, and Peter Beck, a self-taught engineer whose company Rocket Lab has put New Zealand on the map as a major aerospace hub. Rocket Lab was founded by Peter Beck in 2006, making it nearly 20 years old. Unlike a lot of the new wave space companies, Peter isn't some billionaire founder, nor did he catch a hot market for space. Rocket Lab has quietly become the second most frequently launched US rocket provider, a fact that underscores its operational maturity. The company's story is one of calculated strategy, not confronting the industry giant that is SpaceX head on, but instead identifying and dominating an underserved niche. Handling dedicated rocket payloads, smaller rideshare, and designing custom spec solutions, all with some of the same engineering principles like vertical integration and advanced machining like 3D printing that makes their launch cadence actually possible. Over 70 launches and counting. Compare that with any company outside of SpaceX and it's dominant. Rocket Lab's first orbital class rocket, Electron, debuted in 2017, and within just 7 years, it hit the 50 launch mark. These 50 launches weren't at NASA's Kennedy Space Center or Vandenberg Air Force Base, now Space Force Base. Rocket Lab has their own launch sites, Launch Complex 1 in Mahia, New Zealand, and Launch Complex 2 in Wallops Island, Virginia. Launch Complex 3 is also a go, further expanding their presence in Virginia. Electron is a 2-stage small lift launch vehicle standing 18 meters tall and engineered for efficiency and rapid manufacturing. Contrasting Electron to Falcon 9 is a great way to understand really important differences. 18 meters versus Falcon 9's 70-meter height. 300 kilograms to LEO, low Earth orbit, versus Falcon 9's 22,800 kilograms. Now these are estimates, but Electron costs around $7.5 million per launch, whereas Falcon 9 is said to be in this $70 million number. So these are clearly not competitors, but Rocket Lab is moving quickly on something new. More on that later. Electron's design is distinguished by a few key innovations. Powering Electron are the Rutherford engines, the world's first 3D printed and electric pump-fed orbital rocket engines. Instead of the more complex and heavy gas generator turbopumps, the Rutherfords use electric motors and batteries to drive their propellant pumps. And that simplifies the engine design, reduces manufacturing time and costs, and makes extensive use of additive manufacturing. Almost the entire engine can be 3D printed in under 24 hours. The entire fuselage of Electron is constructed from an advanced carbon composite material. That makes the rocket exceptionally lightweight, yet strong enough to withstand extreme forces of launch, a pioneering application for this orbital class vehicle, and that's in contrast to much heavier aluminum or steel. When sending kilograms to space, every bit of extra weight counts. But sometimes you just need to build bigger rockets. For this, there is Neutron, Rocket's next generation rocket in answer to sending more payload to space, approximately 13,000 kilograms. Neutron is set for mega constellation deployment, think Starlink-like satellites, deep space missions, and even human spaceflight. While Rocket Lab does have reusability elements with Electron, Neutron is planned to have a fully reusable first stage and even fairing. That is the place where everything is actually stored. And this time, it looks like they're trying to put on a show with the landing. Rocket Lab is moving quickly with Neutron. Launch Complex 3 is ready, their new Archimedes engine is being tested extensively, and between their stages, they are nearing all the checkmarks to put things together for full flight. They're doing all of this while innovating quite a lot too. For example, building the world's largest AFP machine, that is automated fiber placement, basically automating the build of the large carbon structures that Rocket Lab is known for. Rocket Lab is much more than a launch provider. They also build satellites, spacecraft, and components, providing power, propulsion, and communications. Rocket Lab is an end-to-end provider at any mission level, and this was a strategic decision in recognizing just how large the satellite market is versus the launch market alone. If you have been following SpaceX any, a huge portion of their launches are for none other than their own Starlink satellites. Whenever Blue Origin achieves a regular launch cadence with New Glenn, they will certainly start handling some of Amazon's Kuiper satellite launches. And for any new rocket company entering the launch market, well, good luck. The competition is not only around launch costs and successful track records, but also service offerings and customization. Rocket Lab is truly a unique story. Peter's self-taught background, the small country that is New Zealand, and competing in an industry with large legacy defense contractors, billionaire founders, and one of the most dominant enterprises we have ever seen in SpaceX.